Hi everyone! Tonight I'm going to be talking about Disney's 14th animated feature, Peter Pan. This is such a classic. Everybody loves the characters. Tinkerbell's pretty much the symbol of Disney right beyond Mickey Mouse by this point. But there's so much more to this movie than that, obviously, as was the case for everything I've reviewed thus far. The animation style of this movie isn't as complex or detailed as movies like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but there's still a lot to be enjoyed here. It has a really nice comedic tone for its animation, which works well with the movie itself. A lot of times it's cartoonish, which really works for its fight scenes, especially with Hook and Pan. There's one point of the film when Hook and Peter are fighting on Skull Rock and they go off the edge of a cliff and Peter's just looking down like going to Hook, look down, and then Hook is starting to fall at that exact moment before hanging on with his hook to the rock. It's just such a classic Looney Tunes style feel, which, while it isn't the tone of the entire movie, really works for this movie, and I think the animation for it works very well. The best parts, as far as the animation goes, I believe, are the scenes with the sprites from Neverland to London and back. Well, London to Neverland and then back again. Just the stars and the overview of London as a city, and of course the flying pirate ship at the end, all are so memorable and magical. Definitely one of the best and most charming Disney moments. The story is really simple, but at the same time, just plain fun. Seeing Wendy unsure of growing up, as well as all the adventures that Peter and the boys take the Darling kids on, the fights with Hook. It's very childlike, which obviously fits for the theme of not growing up and childhood memories and adventures. And really, that's where the film is strongest, with its views on childhood and how even when you grow up, you can still have a certain sense of joy, as is seen around the end with the Darling parents. And Mr. Darling fondly remembers seeing Hook's pirate ship at one point when he was a boy himself. Like the narrator says in the beginning, all this has happened before and it will all happen again. The characters are also really great. Peter is really smug and a bit of a smart aleck, and can sometimes even be pretty selfish, but at the same time, he does care about Wendy and Tinkerbell and the boys, and he is courageous and was quick to help Tiger Lily. Well, not quick, but. And really, there's just something so charming about him, even with all his flaws, that make him a great character. But I think the real protagonist of this film is Wendy Moore Angela Darling herself. The film is about her coming to grips with growing up and realizing that she can still have a bit of childhood joy with her that she carries on into the next movie, really, even, and Return to Neverland, which I might review at another date. Other parts of this movie, as far as characters go, I really enjoy are Captain Hook and Mr. Smee, two of the most fun antagonists in Disney films. Hook is cowardly when it comes to the crocodile. He's goofy, he's over the top, but he also poses a severe threat. Many of you probably don't remember, but Hook actually kills two of his pirates in this movie. The first he shoots in the middle of his cadenza, as Smee remarks how it's bad form, and the other wants to hear splash when Wendy supposedly walks the plank, but Peter rescues her. He throws him in to drown. So yeah, while he's a comedic villain, he still is a threat, and it's balanced very nicely. Mr. Smee is an adorable and lovable henchman. He's just too likable to really do anything wrong or be seen as a threat, really. John and Michael are more simple characters, but they're very likable boys as far as kid characters go. Michael getting his little teddy and John's high level of intelligence. The Lost Boys don't really have that set of personalities. The twins say a lot of things in unison or repeating after each other. Toodles the skunk doesn't say much. Cubby's a little slow. But they're still fun to watch, even if they don't really stand out that much from each other. Something that's done better in the sequel again. But I digress. Wendy isn't the only person that's interested in Peter Pan, obviously. Tinkerbell also is, and like I said before, she's one of the most iconic Disney characters there is. And there is a good reason for this. 1, she's a fairy. 2, she's small, she's sassy. And 3, she never speaks in this movie. I'm not counting any of the Pixie Hollow movies, which I haven't seen anyway. But this movie, she doesn't say anything. She jingles like a bell, but she's still so expressive. You get the feeling of knowing exactly who she is. And the same can be said for Nana and TikTok Crocodile. The songs are really nice too. You Can Fly, You Can Fly, You Can Fly, and The Second Star to the Right are just such pretty songs about imagination and dreams and following them. Some of the songs have a few questionable lyrics, like Following the Leaders, often by the Engines, and obviously the infamous What Made the Red Man Red, but they were still really catchy at the same time, and I feel guilty for liking them, but as a kid, I loved them, and it's hard to turn my back on them completely now. The Elegant Captain Hook is a pretty good villain song. Not as good as ones that would follow, but it fits the character well. And Your Mother and Mine is just such a pretty song and really gets the idea of how important mothers are. Anyone who says Disney movies hate mothers should listen to this song to show how wrong that statement really is. And again, the stereotypes of the Native Americans are pretty bad. They can be offensive, and they use really outdated terms like redskins and Injuns. And some people might find it questionable that they even are in the fantasy world at all. They're left out of other versions and the sequel for that very reason. And I wish I could excuse it, but it's really hard to. But for its time, it was not okay, I'll say, but commonplace. But I definitely don't think it's enough to ruin this movie. Peter Pan might not be the most deep or thought-provoking or innovative Disney animated feature, but it's by far one of the most entertaining of classic Disney, and just a fun film about childhood and dreams, and definitely worth your time to rewatch. So today's question is, what animated film do you believe best has the ideas of childhood and really captures the feelings? And as always, if you have an anime film you want me to review, please leave it in the comments. Until then, talk to you later. Bye.